Hey there. You're watching the Jessa Channel on YouTube. I'm Jessa, and today I am here with more Skyrim. In the previous episode, Kinlen and her companions made their way to the Pale, north of Solitude. This is a very cold, snowy area, and Kinlen has been cold the whole time that we've been here. But she came to go to the Pale Imperial camp to talk to Legate Rikke and receive a new infiltration quest. Yet again, we're going to Windhelm in disguise to waylay a Stormcloak courier. And Kinlen sits here in Dawnstar, in the Pale, in the Wind Peak Inn, trying to decide how she's going to do this infiltration mission. And she finds herself getting into conversation with a very, very pleasant and very talkative Argonian. Let's see what they have to say.
Greetings, traveler. How's the weather outside today? Wonderful, I imagine.
Well, on my way here it was rather cold, I must admit, on the carriage. Luckily I have two very kind hounds who keep my feet warm, but I am overall an optimist about the weather. You sound like an optimist yourself. There are too few in this land.
So true. I was once a pessimist myself. Never thought there was anything but danger outside the swamps of Black Marsh. But my son, he lived his life by the code of the Wanderer. Now I too have succumbed to the wanderlust that is my namesake. Now I amble across Tamriel, so that I may get lost, and in doing so, discover all the wonders I never found.
Kinlen smiles at the woman and takes a sip of her tea, her hot, delicious tea that she's been using to keep herself warm. And then she says thoughtfully, "You say your son lived his life. Does that mean he has passed on? If so, I am most sorry for your loss."
You adventurers are so kind. It was a similar one who found my son's body and delivered the letter to me. The one I always feared to read. But there's no need for sorrow. I have already shed enough tears and broken enough bottles for all of Nirn.
Well, I have also shed tears. It comes to many of us. Loss is a great part of life, particularly now in these war-torn times. But tell me, what was your life like before your son died? Kinlen is asking this question because she wonders if this woman may have something that could help her in her infiltration quest, particularly a dress that could be worn by a noble, in mourning.
I was a cynic and a pessimist. But most of all, I was a coward.
A coward? How so?
I would wipe the counters clean 4 times a day and overcook the food because I feared the meat had parasites. I slept with a candle burning and never left my hut at night and dared not brave the rain. I made oceans out of ponds and mountains out of anthills. I was afraid to live because I was scared to die. I let the fear consume me because I didn't want to ever again feel the pain of being left behind.
Ah, so you have been left behind. You've lost more than a son, I take it.
I lost my husband to the Great War. It was so long ago, I forget which side he was on. As if that makes a difference. War makes widows of us all. I once only thought of my own grief, but now I hold dear the time we shared together. I still remember the worry on his face when our son was hatched. It was so beautiful.
Kinlen thinks to herself about something being hatched and that thing being beautiful, and then lets that uncharitable thought pass. So, you say that your husband, a very brave man, could turn into an anxious nursemaid in such a situation. It happens to many men. Many men. I'm sure it happened to my own father when I was born.
Yeah, I think I had to give him a bit of wine to calm him down. As in, 3 flagons. That night, I think he sloughed off more scales than there are coins in the Emperor's treasury.
Kinlen laughs. And then she says, after they've talked for a little bit longer, Kinlen has shared a bit of her food, some hot stew, with the Argonian woman who accepts it gratefully, and they sit back enjoying their flagons, and then Kinlen asks, what do you enjoy most about Skyrim?
It's difficult to choose, considering how much there is to love. I love trekking through the Pale, lapping my tail against beds of fresh snow. I love scaling the mountains of the Reach and looking down on the rivers and fords that give life to Lorcan's bones.
Lorcan's bones. I have not been to such a place. Where else have you been? It sounds fascinating.
I made the pilgrimage up the 7,000 steps and watched the sun as it drifted into sea, glazing the sky in layers of magma. I traversed through the fall forest and watched the opera of leaves as they were led across the stage by the autumn wind. And when I look upon it all, I feel nothing but warmth, even when people insist it's so cold. Skyrim was the one place my son had never been, which makes it all the more magical that we can see it together.
Because you still hold him in your heart. You know, Wanderlust, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I have a favor that I might ask you. I wonder if you might have a dress of mourning that I might be able to use. We seem to be of the same somewhat fit, and with a cloak I could hide the part of your dress which you need to bring your tale out to light. Would you do such a thing? Ah. Thank you. Here is some gold. And she thanks Kinlen and says, thank you, here, this is for you. And offers her a beautiful black dress. Kinlen says, I will return it. I will send it here to the innkeeper, and it will be here within a few days. I appreciate this, your helping a woman in need, for I, too, have experienced mourning.
May you lose your way and find adventure.
Thank you, Wanderlust. You too as well. Kinlen sighs happily. It's all coming together. She takes a moment to munch on a little bit of food while she thinks over her plans. She's been nursing, during their talk, some Orsinian battle tea. And she also has some hot venison stew, some that she shared with Wanderlust. And she finishes off her dinner with a juniper berry crostata. She's so interested in this idea of going as a mourning noble, a noble in mourning, that she's thinking through, and she doesn't eat as much as she normally would, but she does take milk in her tea every time. I think it is time to make a plan. And Kinlen walks over to find the bathing room, stopping to give Scout a little pet and a bit of a treat. Scout is always happy to receive a treat. Good girl.
An inn, huh? Sleeping indoors isn't natural.
Kinlen drops her pack on the bed and rifles through it, looking for all the things that she'll need. She takes a look at the dress, which seems to do perfectly, and also Wanderlust has included a cloak as well too. So Kinlen thinks to herself, I need some way to color my hair. My blonde hair won't do. But this cape. After she rifles through her pack and gets everything that she needs, including snowberries, some snowberry tea, the cloak, the dress, some boots, she walks over to the bathing room and descends into its hot, steamy depth. I am so rarely alone. It is such a pleasure. Kinlen takes off her pack and drops it next to the hot tub of water and climbs in gratefully. Let's take off Bloodkin too. Now I usually just have Kinlen just come in and we'll just sort of say she's taken off her armor at this point. And she's going to take out some soap here. And this Superior Floral soap will do. It's already got kind of a pinkish hue to it. And it's heavy duty. And Kinlen begins to scrub down. And the whole time she's thinking of her plan. Her name, first of all. My mother's name was Diana. Perhaps I could go as her. Well, not her, but using her name as her namesake. It would be very difficult for me to imagine that anyone would know it. She's been gone for so many years. Kinlen dries off and comes out of the tub and is taking off all of her armor, and at this point, we're going to get her ready. But I think my name would be Diana. Yes, Diana Clearborn. Diana Clearborn. Perfect. Kinlen is taking her wet hair out and preparing it to receive a bit of color. I think we'll be going as a redhead. I am opening up Show Race menu at this point to get Kinlen ready. The first thing we're going to do is make sure I have her preset saved. So F5 will save her. Yep, I already have it here. So I'm going to tab out of that. We're going to go to her sliders. We're going to come over here, scrolling across until we get to makeup. And this is special war paint I have from a mod I've downloaded, which you can see in my mod list below. My mods are sorted out by category, so it should be pretty easy to find. I'm going to lighten it here so that she still has it on, but it's just invisible, basically. Once that's taken care of, let's go back here to her, let's see, face maybe? I'm looking for her lip color. I can find it in the All tab, but I was wondering if I could find it here. That's cheek color, no. Brows, mouth, lip color, there we go. She's gonna darken her lip color because it's gonna go very well with this kind of grieving look that she's going for. She's gonna also take some color from her eyes. Perhaps let's darken that. Let's see. Something like, that's a bit much. How about that? She takes some charcoal and smudges it around her eyes to kind of give herself a feeling of being very tired or very, I'm just wondering if I can find something here that'll work. Very tired, drained, a lot of grief, that kind of thing. Let's go for this color and then let's see if I can change it to what I'm looking for. I'm hoping to find a kind of something underneath. I was hoping to find something for underneath her eyes. Kind of. Oh, I see. That makes it gray. Cool. Just a lot of black we have going on here. There we go. That's still kind of red. That's not really changing it much. Very dark red here. Let me lighten that a bit. Yeah, that's not quite the color I'm going for. That's too much red. Let's try a green base and see what happens with that. Still red. Just playing around. Just playing around because, you know, I'm a simmer at heart, and I know that there are several simmers watching and can nod their heads in agreement. This looks pretty good. It looks a little bit purple to it. I like that. Okay, we'll go with that. And her eye, her lips, I think that's it. Kinlen's never been much for a lot of makeup at all. She's doing this just to kind of give her eyes, hopefully, a more deep set look, and do her best to use makeup to disguise her face. Next, her beautiful blonde hair is going to have to make a change. So let's go to, and I'm going to do a quick save here. Okay, because next thing that we're going to do is add in a very important piece. For this part of Kinlen's storyline, I was looking for something which would allow me to basically add a wig or change her hair in some way. And I was very happy to run into the Divine Elegance Store mod on the Nexus. Using Add Item Menu, I'm going to show you some of the amazing things that are in this mod. It's fantastic. First thing I'm going to do, is I'm going to show you this Divine Crafting Raven. This mod adds so many things, so many items for the head, the feet, the body, earrings, that kind of stuff, that your crafting menu would quickly get overwhelmed. So the mod author was very intelligent, Apache, to add this crafting raven. If you have this in your inventory, the mod contents will show up in the crafting menu. If you take it out, they will not. So you can kind of maybe leave this right by your crafting station in a container, take it out when you want to craft, and put it back when you don't want to craft something from this mod. We are not going to be crafting from this mod. We're going to be using Add Item Menu, my favorite thing. I'm going to scroll down for a little bit here so you can see some of the amazing things that are in this mod. Necklaces. And as you can see, each item has different color variants, or most of them do. Let me show you some of the clothes, some of the dresses. Let me scroll down a little bit slower here. So many things. You'll be able to see many of those things on the mod page. But what we're looking for, this is very pretty dress. There's a long sleeve version of it too. And I took a look at a lot of the things here. So I've already tried on a lot of these dresses with Kinlen. A bikini. Isn't that funny? But what I am looking for actually is the noble dress in the morning color. This is the dress that Wanderlust lets Kinlen borrow. It does have a way for the Argonian's tail to stick out of the back, so Kinlen needs to cover that. Otherwise, there'll be a cold, chill breeze coming up the backside. So, to do that, we're going to head down to the head pieces here. You can see circlets. These are masks. They have so many things in here. They have like just a plain black mask. Oh, and we're skipping right by the feet. Next thing we're going to add are her shoes. Then we'll add the... So I looked through a lot of these and basically decided on these. Look at these. They have a heel with them. They're so cool. Isn't that awesome? So I chose these because Kinlen's feet, you know, there are sandals that come with this mod. However, Kinlen, it's, you know, these is what I mean here. Very cute. Try and do this without, there we go. But I mean, you know, are you really going to get in a carriage and walk up to Winterheld in those bad boys? Yeah, no. No. So we needed something that would keep her warm, but also, you know, fit with her outfit and that the look that she's going for to take on this character. The next thing we're going to do is scroll down here to the gloves. These Silent Mist gloves, I went through a lot of them. These are the ones that I'm choosing for this look. They look great with it. And you can imagine I had a great time. I'm not going to lie. I had an awesome time. Picking out all this stuff took me like, you know, an hour of just happily looking through all these things and picking things. So this is what I was talking about. She has different hoods within this mod. The mod author does, he or she. And we are going to go for, here's one with braids, which is really cool. But we're actually going to go for this one. This Silent Mist cloak long hair. And it also, there's two versions, one enchanted and one not. So what the heck, we're just going to choose the enchanted one, partly because in this role, Kinlen will not be fighting. For as long as she's playing this noble woman, she's going to have her companions posing as her mercenaries, her guards, her sort of guard caravan behind her. Her dogs will be, you know, just her hounds as usual. So I think that's it. The dress, the gloves, the hood and the hair, the shoes. And I'm not going to worry about, look at this. Isn't that awesome? You get Sorcerer's Hat. So cool. There's a lot of roleplay opportunities in this mod. Oh, I also looked at this one, but I was hoping to find something that would have a veil over her face. That would have been ideal. However, I couldn't find anything with the mod that did that. Oh, and a fan that works as a shield. Awesome. Anyway, I'll let you continue to look through that mod when you download it, which I hope you do. You can get it over on the Nexus. It's called Divine Elegance Store. Oh, one more thing to note. This mod comes with an actual store that is outside of Falkreath, I believe. But anyway, I went into Test 5 Edit and I deleted all references to that. I deleted the store and it comes with 3 NPCs because I just didn't want anything else in my landscape, anything else that could nav mesh, that could cause crashes, that kind of stuff. Because, you know, just a crashing game is a sad thing. Okay, so now that we have everything here, let's tab out of this and put it on. I'll show you what it looks like, and then we're going to put her back into her regular clothes. She has this amulet that she wears. Gives her some great buffs for her one-handed attacks, her stamina, and her health. She's going to keep that on. That is, from a roleplay perspective, that's an important family heirloom, as is the ring she wears. We're going to put the normal morning dress on, the gloves, and the cloak. And boom, we have a costume. She's going to keep on this wonderful ring here, this Noble Sir ring that she has on her finger. That was her mother's. Very important. It also gives her some one-handed and health increases. She keeps her magic feather on. That increases her carry weight. And that's basically it. Let's see what she looks like. Look at that. That is so cool. Picture time. That is just fantastic. Let me get a little bit closer. Wow. So she'll keep her cloak down low over her face. And the first time she well, I won't tell you about the first time. I'll let you watch season 1 because that's a big surprise is how she did that. But in the second time she infiltrated Windhelm, she infiltrated as a drunken, sort of down on your luck beggar, raspy voiced, hard life, that kind of thing. So it's gonna be fun for her to go as a noble. There is one downside to Kinlen dressing as a noble, and it is this. I just wanted to pause there to save. It is this. Let's take a walk and see Kinlen's ladylike, feminine, upper crust noble walk. Yeah. No. Let's look at that again. thump, thump, thump. One of the things I love so much about Kinlen, she is just, that's just her nature. I actually have a mod in, which you can see in the mod list, that changes her walk to the male walk. Partly because, as you can see with her arms kind of out wide there, her swords, right there, trust me, after you bump your elbows into those swords a couple of times, you learn to walk the way Kinlen walks. So she's going to take this outfit off, because if she just walks upstairs now in this, everybody's going to go, you went down for a bath and now you came out with different colored hair. Yeah. And how Kinlen changed her hair, by the way, is this. She used snowberries. She mashed it up into this troll fat here, sat it on her hair for a good 30 minutes or so, and then washed it out thoroughly with more of that superior floral soap. That's how one dyes one's hair in Skyrim. Okay, so let's get her regular outfit back on. And she will change on the road outside Dawnstar in the cold, because you do what you must for the cause. And she's back in her normal outfit. All right, let's head up. And advance time a bit, because all of that kerfluffle took a couple of hours, and that now leaves Kinlen at about 11:30 in the evening. And it's time for bed. I hope she bought the room, did she? Yes. Now, when Kinlen is out at inns and whatnot, she doesn't bother to put on her nightgown and all that kind of stuff. Especially since this room is wide open. She just takes off her pack, maybe her boots, and climbs in. And I believe she uses a blanket. The next playthrough I do, when I'm going to add a mod that allows you to sleep underneath the blanket. I saw that on Nexus. Let's go ahead. 8 hours of sleep. And then we're going to have Kinlen reflect on what she has learned, as she does every morning. Oh, Kinlen's eyes open slowly, and she remembers what she has to do today and has a little thrill of anticipation. It's sort of like playing dress up for her. Kinlen is, you know, feminine in a way, but that feminine side of her is pretty far deep down. So the chance to sort of wear a dress and dress up is going to be enjoyable, but frightening, because she will not be able to keep her swords or any other way of defending herself. She'll sit down in the chair this morning and enjoy a bit of breakfast, wanting to eat up things before they go bad, particularly this Nordic salad, and a bit of steak on that salad. And then we'll drink that snowberry tea, even though we know she put it on her hair. Kinlen wants to try this Nordic tea. And with a bit of milk, she decides she really doesn't like Nordic tea. So we're not going to be doing that again. And swigs down some juniper berry juice to wash the taste out. Nordic tea and Nordic ale. Not her thing. I don't know. Anyway, while she is doing that, she is also reflecting on what she has learned. Let's head over here to the Skyrim Experience mod. So one thing, I had this XP rate up 130%. I'm going to actually knock it down now, because Kinlen's gotten to be near 100%, 100 in her skills. And so she can really slow down that XP rate now. One of the many things that I love about this mod is that you can, you know, change that rate. You have, how do I put this? You have just more control over your character and how they level up. And this mod, by the way, the Skyrim Experience mod, if you are looking for this mod in my mod list, I encourage you to get the redone version of this mod. The let's try that again, SXP redone is what it's called, which is what I will be running in my next playthrough. But that mod came out in the middle of this playthrough, and it's very smart idea to try this mod you can't take out in the middle of a playthrough. But I try not to add new mods. Even if I could add that one, I wouldn't. in the middle of a playthrough. So we're going to convert some points now to perk points, because as she's getting to 100, I'm going to go over 100 in skills because in some of the skills, such as one-handed, it actually does matter. You can go over 100. Some other skills, it doesn't really matter. Like, for example, speech. Once you go past 100, there's just no point. There's no check higher than 100 in the game. But with one-handed skill, my understanding is that, it adds a modifier, as you raise your skill, you get better in one-handed. So going over one-handed actually will be of benefit. You can see here that I've just done bought a perk point for 10,000 XP points up here. And each time you buy a perk point, it costs more, which I think is pretty cool. So we are at 96. This is going to take us to 97, 98, 99, 100 in heavy armor and one-handed. Yay! And we didn't do any training. And I think that's just a lot of it is because she just, using this method, she was only working on 4 basic skills. And then her speech skill, we're going to take that up to as high as we can get it this time. Till we run out of points. There is there are a couple of high-level speech skills in the game. One of them, just for a fun fact, is in order to get into the College of Winterhold without having to do any spells, which Kinlen couldn't do. So I don't know why she'd try and join the college, but let's say she needed to for a quest or something. You need a 100 skill in speech in order to convince or persuade Feralda to let you into the college without having to do a spell. So that's the one place in the game where you need a 100 speech skill. So that should give her, let's see where we are now with our levels. Whoosh! That gives us health is at 380, stamina is at 350. We'll increase that stamina. And that gives me 2 perks to use. Yay! So, what I'm going to use for these perks is I'm going to go up here and head up here to rise above. We're going to intimidate enemies within 15 feet. Oh, yeah. And then also, over here in one-handed, I think there's a perk I want over here. Unleash the Beast. This is a perk I've been waiting for. I am super excited about this perk because this reflects Kinlen's orc bloodkin self that we discovered, or she opened up to in season 2, doing the orc blood proving. So she now has this kind of deeply fiery self inside of her. And trust me, I'm not being racist here. Orcs are mer, not beasts. However, they do have a kind of primal fury in them, which could be likened to the beast. And Kinlen is super happy to be able to get this. And as she reflects on what she learned, and she reads yet again the Code of Malakath, it clicks inside of her, and she feels this intensity that she wants to let out. She doesn't know what it means, when it will come out, if it will come out, or if it's just a feeling that's happening for her this morning. But we'll see how that plays out. When dual wielding in combat, enter a murderous frenzy. Every 20 to 40 seconds. For 8 seconds, dual wield power attacks deal 50% more damage and 100% more critical damage. In other words, she's gonna wreck face! Okay, so followers are leveling up now. And the followers are actually pretty strong, the dogs particularly. I just want to show you this real quick. Amazing follower tweaks. I know that there are other follower mods out there. I know that, but I really like this mod, and I've used it for so many years, and it works really well. So Garm, for example, level 37, same as Kinlen, level 37. Miko, for some reason, lags behind. which I guess is appropriate because Miko is the off tank, I guess, or whatever. But Kinlen is lead dog and Miko is second in command. But anyway, yeah, you can just see here. Let's see if I can show you. There we go. Total health, 510. Damage. Nice. Look at that, 100% damage. Look at her armor rating, 100%. So I'm just going to be really clear with you. Look at that. Skill, one-handed, 100. That's awesome. And I think she also has high sneak. Yep, 102. That's awesome. So basically, I'm just going to just put it real plain. Garm is a badass. Or I should say scout. That's her name in the game. Okay, so. Enough dillying, enough dallying. A little bit of time has passed. While Kinlen reflects, it's now 10:30 and we need to get on the road. Before we do, Kinlen stops and notices this priest is still standing here looking concerned. As Kinlen walks in, he has been playing with Scout a bit, and Kinlen says, "Good morning. I see Scout loves your company."
What troubles you, my daughter?
Ah, nothing. It is a wonderful morning. But it does seem that there is a lot troubling others around here. What is wrong with everyone?
The entire town is being plagued by horrible nightmares. They're in serious danger, but I'm afraid there's little I can do about it.
Well, I don't see what you could do. Dreams aren't real. It's not like you can fight them with a sword or a mace, like that you carry at your side.
These dreams are manifestations created by the Daedric Lord, Vermina. She has an awful hunger for our memories. In return, she leaves behind nightmares, not unlike a cough marks a serious illness. I must end her terrible influence over these people before the damage becomes permanent.
I take it that you have a plan, since you're speaking as if you plan to do something about this.
I need to return to the source of the problem, to Nightcaller Temple. Perhaps you'd be willing to assist me in that regard.
What do you mean, return? You've been to this Nightcaller Temple place? Is that the Temple of Vermina?
I've already said too much. If anyone overhears what we're saying, it could start a panic. I would simply ask that you trust me and help me end Dawnstar's nightmares.
I think you're asking quite a lot of someone that has just walked up to you to say good morning. I feel you're hiding something, that there's more to this.
Your concerns are understandable. Trust is a very difficult commodity to come by these days. I can only give you my word as a priest of Mara that my intentions are honorable.
You seem a good man, but I will be honest with you. I am on my way. I have business to attend to. I cannot assist you.
I understand. If you should change your mind, I'll be here.
So I partly wanted to do that just to stop him from standing there and get him into sandboxing. But yeah, Kinlen really does not have the time to care for that. Valgus, it is time for us to take off for the road, as it were.
Make us swift.
Yes, I agree. And the followers are ready to follow. We'll give Miko his breakfast and tell him to share it with... Yay, Miko! He's so awesome. It's been a real pleasure having the dogs on this playthrough. They're wonderful. And they're great tanks. Kinlen takes a deep breath of the salty, tangy air. So salty it almost burns your nose. So cold. Let me pick up something for the evening's meal. Kinlen was told by the innkeeper that she could have an egg or whatever the chickens had left for that morning. And she's going to purchase that for 8 gold coins, which she has already given him. And Kinlen makes her way out of town, casually, as if she's just planning a little walk. She looks out for a private place. Not wanting to be seen by the carriage man. That was me, having a little brain fart as to which direction she was going to go. She looks over her shoulder, making sure that she is unobserved. Ah, this will do nicely. This old way shrine, it's a good place. Just here. Valgus, Brock, as you know, we have a task. I will be heading to Windhelm in the disguise of a noble named Diana Clearborn. Valgus, you will be with me. Brock, you will stay with the dogs outside of Windhelm in case there's trouble. I'm going to change. Averturize.
Doesn't matter if the arrow got lost or stolen.
Okay. Off comes Bloodkin and General's gift. Off comes her warm scarf to be replaced by her fine boots, her dress of mourning, her mist gloves, her cloak. Her backpack is removed, as she, as a noble, would not carry these items. And that should leave her completely dressed and feeling rather vulnerable.
Gods will bring it back.
There she goes. Well, what do you think?
A calm spirit provides the best counsel.
I agree. You're right. Well, thank you. I think you'll do a wonderful job.
Apprentice, gift us with knowledge.
Come, Brack. Hello, Miko. She pets Miko absent-mindedly on the head. And then, approaching the carriage, knowing it's important to approach from the road, Kinlen also waited a little bit of time, so it would be less obvious as to what she was doing. She heads over to the carriage man. Good man!
Need a ride?
I do. I need a ride to the Temple of Talos.
Where do you want to go?
It is in Windhelm.
Climb and back and we'll be off.
Thank you. I am mourning for my husband. Stay close by the carriage. I will need your protection.
I can take you to any of the hold
Kinlen glances at her sundial as she stiffly climbs off of the cart. Stretches. And looks around. If I remember correctly, there is a Khajiit caravan here. But it does not seem that they are here right now. It is too bad.
City food isn't the same. Too much dressing, sauces, spices. Doesn't taste like meat anymore.
Thank you. That was a good trip, and you gave good knowledge about the roads along the way. Here.
Need a ride? Thank you. Here, this is for you.
I appreciate that. He hands her a little map of Windhelm, showing some of the most important sites. And Kinlen walks over. Ah, stable master.
Are you feeling sick?
I do not think so, though I have had a long journey, and I'm very tired. My name is Diana Clearborn, and I am here to visit the Temple of Talos in Windhelm. As you can see, I have my entourage with me who keeps me safe upon the roads. I'm wondering if I might be able to stay, or some of my entourage be able to stay at your place, while I go and visit the temple with my priest. I would be happy to give you gold for it. Good.
Thank you. Here, this is for you.
Thank you. I will give the key back to you when I am ready to leave your beautiful city.
Sometimes the difference between life and death is a swift steed.
I am a great horsewoman myself. I love them. Hello. Come. Kinlen keeps her shoulders back, affecting a, doing the best she can to affect a high-born walk. And unlocks the door with the key. She looks around. This will do nicely. Making sure that there's no one here. Brock, you will stay here with the hounds. Keep a watch out for my call. I will whistle for the dogs. If they go to run, you come and follow. Valgus, you're with me. We're going to tell all the followers to stop. And then
Thief, give us fortune.
We're going to have have Valgus follow me. Hopefully with... Nope. I guess I'll just do it the regular way. There we go.
As you wish.
Okay, and that brings him into the follower system. All the other followers hang out here. Kinlen makes sure that her mind is in the right place. And that she has all that she needs. And then she opens the cold doors to again infiltrate Windhelm. While we are there, I will refer to you as priest man or good priest. I will attempt, or try to remember, never to use your name. You must not use mine. I am Diana Clearborn, a highborn of Skyrim. We will get no more specific than that. Hopefully this will take no more than a day or two, and then we'll be out, and back to the Pale Imperial camp. Understood?
Steed, make us swift.
Agreed.
Tower, bless our adventure.
That blessing is most needed. And we're going to end that episode here. In the next episode, we infiltrate Windhelm again. This one was really fun to do, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I am so glad you joined me. If you did like this episode, please hit the thumbs up button below. And if you loved it, join the party and subscribe. I'll see you back here outside of Windhelm as Diana Clearborn and her priest companion head in to say their morning grieving prayers at the Temple of Talos and waylay a Stormcloak courier. As always, thank you so much for watching.